5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They've landed.
You're in the right place. Online, on the web, and on air. All over the world.
Talk radio.
You hear us, we hear you.
Yeah, good evening and welcome to the show. I hope you can hear us okay. Hi everybody, I'm back. This is Red Ghost. Can you hear me okay out there? I need you to beat my eyes and ears. Hopefully you can hear us okay. Hello Andy 707, Rent-A-Ghost, Rider 2873. And anybody else is out there that's listening, I know there's a few listening that isn't in the chat room, please join the chat room. All you've got to do is put your name in and you're off and away. You don't have to register. Just pop in and you can answer questions and get involved in the chat. That's what it's all about. Okay, and if you want to give us a ring later on, you can do that as well. And you can ring us on 0844 414 3982. Where you can speak to us later on, or even if you want, ask questions to our guest when she comes on. That's Miss Karen Vance Hammond. She's an author of a book that came out late last year, early this year. Sometime we'll find out more. It's a ghost book, and we like to have everybody on the show. It doesn't have to be about the actual paranormal, but we do like to incorporate groups and stuff like that, and also people who've talked about things like that. So, how many viewers are you, Sue? How many viewers are you, Sue? I don't know, to be honest with you.
So it's me, you, Sue, and Steve.
Me, you, Sue, and Steve. Apparently, but yeah, somebody said they were watching and ready to go, so I'm assuming they're there as well, because that's what they told me. Chris told me he's listening, so but I'm expecting it to be a really quiet chat room tonight, to be honest with you. It's in the middle of Christmas. It's our last show before Christmas, before New Year, and
It's our last show of the year.
yeah. So and basically, you know, it's a case of we're not expecting people to come and join us, but hopefully they're listening to the radio replay that we put on later on. Okay, so he's fibbing. There's just us guys. I don't know. So hold on. Let's see. Want to actually link to the show? Can you post it here? Right, 2 seconds, guys. I've just got to let Karen know where the hell we are. 2 seconds. She's got some friends that wants to listen in. Just do this for her. Where are we? There somewhere. Okay. There you go. So that's told her where we are. Even though it does say on the poster that I did send her. She's lost it. But anyway, I hope you've had a good week. I hope you've had a good Christmas, full of Christmas cheer and Christmas spirits. Hey, Steve.
I'm happy.
And the progress on the house, we've just got one more coat to put on the bedroom and we're done.
Yep, no, we've got the kitchen.
Oh yeah,
we've got the kitchen, but we've
so
got to wait for them. We've got to wait for them to do bits before we can do that one.
So, well, this is it, you see. I expected it to be quiet in between Christmas and New Year. Last year we had the week off. This year
We got moaned at as well.
we got moaned at as well last year. So we've done it this year because we were getting told that we shouldn't have had a week off. Andy.
Yeah, didn't we, Andy?
So, you know, he said, coat on the bedroom. Is it cold then?
It's a very cold room.
So, but no, it's a really nice place we've got here. And
When you say last coat, it's 2 walls and the ceiling.
2 walls and the ceiling.
Yeah, 2 walls are done.
So, you know, so that's going to be finished tomorrow. So when we celebrate on New Year's Eve, we'll be celebrating the fact that we finished, more or less. So, and we can actually
just
sit
bits
down
and
and
pieces to do them.
Yeah. So, you know, but yeah, everything's coming along nice.
And Rent-A-Ghost, when you come up, I've got a job for you to do.
That's where a minute.
No. you can go out and do the yard.
Oh, hello, we've got links coming on already. I don't know what that's all about. So
What's that for, Andy?
Oh, I don't know. Some picture is put on. Ignore it. Not working. Okay.
Okie dokie.
So, but as I say, don't forget, if you are listening to us out there and you've got linked into the chat room, just to let you know that we are a relaxed show, nothing formal here. We're just a group of friends that come here every week that's involved in the paranormal or enjoys the paranormal, and that's what we like doing. Okay, and we like talking about it, don't we, Steve?
We do.
You know, and as I say, it's been pretty good. We've booked the Newsom Hospital again for next year, haven't we?
We are
And I
off
must
to
admit,
Newsom.
if you are a paranormal group, you need to get in quick for this one because they haven't got many left.
No, the dates
I
are
think they've
filling
got
up
about
fast.
two left if they're not in
For the whole year.
Yeah, because when I booked, they had
Jeez.
3rd of May and they had two Saturdays in August left. Yeah, and I've took the 3rd of
We
May.
took one of them.
But I think they've got some Fridays left. But as I say, it is becoming a very popular venue.
It is.
And
mind you, it's one of them venues. Andy said when we're going the 3rd of May, Andy.
3rd of May, Andy.
It's one of those venues that's so big.
Yes.
You only
can't
get
do all of it.
You only get 3 areas, don't you?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you have to go back to do the other bits.
So, you know. But
well, there's 2 people who want to come. Ben Ghost wants to come, and Andy said he'd love to come.
Okay, well, just to let you know a little bit about it, it's it says here in the Rainhill Lunatic Asylum closed in 1992. It was the largest lunatic asylum in the world, and the entire hospital was emptied out of patients, and all the buildings, wards, and rooms were utilised to contain and hold the world's most mad and dangerous lunatics. Gives you a little bit about that. Basically, it used to be an orphanage for the Royal Seamans.
It was a proper hospital.
Yep, it was a proper hospital.
And then it turned into a lunatic asylum.
Yep, and John said he would fit in well there.
Definitely.
So, but yeah, if you want to come up, Andy, not a problem. We'll put you up over the weekend, and you know, you can pop up and then go back home again. So.
Evening, Tigger.
So Tigger's in. Good evening, Tigger. How are you? So I hope you're well. So we're getting a few in tonight that's popping in.
That's good.
So, you know, so anyway, just to, Steve's going to give you a few observations. I'm going to hand you over to him.
Why is it when I got to talk, I all start yawning?
I don't know. Do you want me to give you a minute?
Right, here we go. Yes, they lost.
Who lost?
Liverpool. Hi, Chris.
Okay, off you go then.
Here we go. Well, if you got some nice presents this Christmas, you must have been good, or you may have been vinted by Krampus.
Who?
Krampus.
Oh yeah.
The anti-Santa.
The Grinch.
No, not the Grinch. This gentleman's concerned with German folklore. Krampus is a beast-like creature that contrasts St. Nicholas, who rewards well-behaved children with gifts. Similar to our Santa, parents would threaten naughty children that Krampus would visit them on December the 5th, throw them in a sack and carry them away to his lair. There's also things like the Yule cat, or the Christmas cat, and Grilla, an Icelandic ogress.
Oh, right.
For many Icelandic families who's finished their work on time receive new clothes for Christmas, but lazy ones do not. To encourage children to work hard, parents would tell them the Yule cat would visit them. They said the creepy cat would tell which children were lazy because those kids didn't have at least one new item of clothing for Christmas.
Ah.
Things we do to scare our kids.
I know. Well, Andy 707 said, "Where did you see that, Steve?" QI, I think. Where did you find that?
Where did I find where I always find my things? About.com. There are other sites, but all today's ones have come from about.com.
Okay.
It's a lovely site, and Steve Wagner does a great job there. Grilla, the mother of the Yule lads, Icelandic trolls, is said to kidnap, cook, and eat children who don't obey their parents. Uh, according to the legend, Grilla had 3 different husbands and 72 children, all of whom would cause trouble ranging from harmless mischief to murder. Legend says that the Yule cat also lived with Grilla, which makes sense because they didn't eat the same thing.
Yeah.
And like I say, the things we tell kids to make them behave.
I know. What else you got for us?
Man gets divorced from wife who sees ghosts. She's not. In a very unusual case, a family court recently granted divorce to a man accepting his allegations that his wife was hallucinating and used to see ghosts and goddesses in their house. The court considered this as grounds amounting to mental cruelty to the husband and granted him the divorce.
Oh, right. Any excuse, I suppose, for you men?
Oh, kidding. Weirdness of the mothman kind. There can be very few researchers of the world of unexplained who have not experienced now and again a sense that phenomena they investigate sometimes manipulates them. For some people, it can be exciting, illuminating experience. For others, it can be downright terrifying and something which has led people to quit forever the world of the paranormal. But my question to you guys is, when we investigate a phenomenon, do we influence it, or does it influence us? What do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you think?
I'm sure Andy's got something on that one. Here we go.
He said the link's now working. He's put the link on for Krampus.
Yeah, he said it's a bit sexist too.
Yeah, what because I said.
Yeah, anything else men can do. Could an octopus really be terrorizing Oklahoma lakes? At the rate of unexplained drownings, deaths has reportedly crept up in Oklahoma's placid lakes. Some observers have turned to an unusual explanation: a freshwater octopus. Well, so sounds like a plot for a new movie. To me, what was the last one? Oh yeah, a giant alligator.
Yeah.
Or was it a croc?
Well, funny.
I watched that film, and I know some people would call it a croc.
I'm not sure whether these 2 sentences actually reside go with the paragraph you just read out there, Steve, but it does go well with it. SASPI Chris Tistas said to Andy he's got a loving the mask, and Andy said that's just me in the morning. But it went well with that.
Yeah, that's good. That's got to be paranormal, that, isn't it? Well, last week we spoke to Andy about reincarnation, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Well, here's an account for you. For his shocked parents, these nightly scenes were traumatic. For experts, they were baffling. As the nightmares become more terrifying, the child started screaming the name of the little man who couldn't get out of the plane. It was James, like his own name. He also talked in his dreams of Jack Larson, Latoma, and Corsair. James Lininger's father, Bruce, was flummoxed. In a desperate attempt to find an answer to his son's troubled nights, he embarked on an obsessive 3-year research project, armed only with the outbursts and names his son had been shouting in his disturbed sleep. What he discovered astonished and perplexed him, and drove him to an extraordinary conclusion. A lifelong Christian, it was not the answer he'd sought for his son's behaviour, but he came to believe James was the reincarnation of a World War II fighter pilot, a man who had been shot down in his plane and struggled to escape as it caught fire. A hero. And here's one that Rent a Ghost sent us, you might like. January the 1st, 2014 will be a new moon for the first time in 19 years.
When?
It'll be a new moon.
When?
1st of Jan.
Oh, right.
It'll be the first time in 19 years that it's fallen on the first day of the year.
Wow.
A year of light and birth and balance. That's what 2014 is.
Oh, right.
Apparently it's a year of light and birth. and Vance. So we'll sort ourselves out in 2013. Andy, I didn't say I don't believe it's just not in Judaism for Islam.
Yeah.
You ever bounce? No, balance, Andy, balance. Well, that's it for me. Back to you.
Right, well, what I'll do is I just want to mention something here. Have you been watching the TV this past week? We've had a lot of
It's been rubbish.
many films on, old films. The Titfield
Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt, that was one of them. And they always bring on Wizard of Oz, which I never watched, and It's a Wonderful Life, which is a great film that was done by James Stewart, which what was it they say every time a bell rings an angel gets his wings, which we did mention.
That's what they say.
Yeah, but the one film that I did watch, which I haven't seen since I was a child, was Harvey, that had James Stewart in. Okay, and basically Harvey is a lovely film, and it's all about a puka.
Puka?
A puka. Now, according to legend,
No, I just thought a puka was a rabbit.
well, according to legend, it is a shapeshifter. Yeah. Capable of assuming a variety of terrifying or pleasing forms, and may appear as a horse, a rabbit, a goat, a goblin, or a dog. No matter what shape the puka takes, its fur is almost dark. Yeah, always dark. It most commonly takes the form of a sleek black horse with a flowing mane and luminous golden eyes. Yeah. And if a human is enticed onto a puka's back, it has been known to give them a wild ride. However, unlike a kelpie, which will take its rider and dive into the nearest stream or lake to drown and devour him or her, the puka will do its rider no real harm. The puka has the power of human speech and has been known to give advice and lead people away from harm. Though the puka enjoys confusing and often terrifying humans, it is considered to be benevolent. Now, as I say, the film about Harvey the Rabbit, Elwood P. Dowd is a middle-aged, amiable individual whose best friend is an invisible 6'3" white
rabbit
named Harvey. And he describes about the fact that Harvey asked Harvey what his name was, and Harvey said, "What's your favourite name?" And he said, "Harvey." And according to the psychiatrist in the movie, maybe he had a friend called Harvey or something like this, and it was maybe an imaginary friend. But Dowd says that Harvey is a puka, benign but mischievous creature from Celtic mythology who is especially fond of social outcasts. Like Elwood has driven his sister and niece, who live in with him and crave normality and a place in society, to distraction by introducing everyone to meet his friend, Harvey. His family seem to be unsure whether Dowd's obsession with Harvey is a product of his drinking, basically.
Yeah, but having said that,
saying that,
in the film, his sister said she'd seen it.
She had seen it, and also, the fact that it was something that was left to him by his mother or something or other. But when I was Googling,
he'd been left the inheritance of the house and everything by his mother.
Yeah, and according to his sister, it was another thing that he was left to look after or something. But if you have a look and Google around, you actually find there's pukas that have been mentioned in other films, like Donnie Darko, which Andy just mentioned. And do you remember the programme Nightmare, children's TV show? Do you remember when we used to watch Nightmare when we were kids?
No.
Remember that? Don't you remember that?
No.
It was a game show, and they put the helmet on. They couldn't see, and their friends had to guide them through.
I was a bit like the
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Thing. Well, apparently they featured there as plant-infiliated pukas as a threat. That's apparently what they were in there as well. So, and they're also in a 2007 production of Ironside, a modern fairy tale. So they've been around for quite some time, and they have actually been put into movies as well.
Can I just ask, did you click on that link for the Krampus?
No, I didn't.
Well, I'm going to show you what it says, okay?
Okay.
Well, it doesn't say it's a picture.
Right, okay, show me what it looks like. So, oh my God. What's that? Oh my God.
That's the Krampus.
That looks like the devil. It actually looks like, I can't remember how to pronounce it now. Baphomet, is it, or something?
You mean Baphomet?
Baphomet, yeah. So, but anyway.
On the pictures I've seen, Baphomet's better looking.
Yes, I must admit. So,
Mind you, it's who knows what he actually looks like. It's all down to
So, but this is it. But this is it's another thing where fairies and everything's coming. Perhaps we can get Catherine Green back on and she can tell us more about her fairies, or even Flavia. She's into all that as well. Barbara John Free's friend. So but yeah, that might be an idea. And just to let you know, I will be telling you later on who we've got coming up in January, because we feel January now, and we're starting on February. So, and we've got some great speakers coming on, haven't we, Steve? Some great guests.
We have indeed, yes.
So,
Andy just said, look closer and you can see the wearer's eyes.
Wearer's eyes. In other words, somebody's got it on.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we have Uri Geller, John.
Yeah,
yes.
They're a little bit red.
Yeah, Uri Geller's coming on in 2 weeks' time, and all right, I'll tell you who's coming on.
Brilliant.
Amy Vickers is coming on next week to update us about the Star Child project and what's happening after the death of Lloyd High and what they're doing. Okay, and who else have we got coming on? I can't think now. Hold on, let me just check my diary. I'll remind everyone afterwards, but remind myself. Who else? Let's see. We have a reschedule on the 19th of January. We have a young lady coming on talking about her book, The House on Pulteney Road. That's Stephanie Bodie. She's coming on now, considering it's being released. And then the week after that, we have a numerologist coming on from I can't remember where she's from. I think she's from America somewhere. I'll double check that. But we've got somebody coming on talking about numerology. She's also an author, an inspirational list, and a radio and TV host. So more to work in it. Andy started again.
Andy, we have to have Toddle to come on so you can come on and argue about it.
Yes. So, and then we're also going to talk about getting hypnotherapy on, aren't we, with that local guy? Get him in and give Andy something to discuss.
Oh yes.
So
and Berlin. Where are you going, John? Where are we going?
I don't know. I'm not getting Anne Boleyn on.
No, definitely not. He's asked about Richard Felix, and he's asked about Derek and Alison coming back.
Richard Felix has already been on. I can't see Derek coming back on, to be honest with you. Alison, I've got to double check with her and get some dates with her so she can come on and do some more readings. I'll see what Richard is doing and see whether he can come on. Henry VIII I can't get. I'm sorry. I know I'm a paranormal investigator, but I can't bring them back from the dead. I promise you. But it would be good though, wouldn't it, Steve, if we could bring him in?
It would be pretty much.
It would be. We would have a show, wouldn't we?
Wouldn't we just?
Everyone would want to be on the show.
Everybody would want to be in here to see if they're actually turning up. Or
it would be good though.
Smoke and mirrors. No, John, we're not doing Oliver Cromwell.
So yeah, and I want to try and get some more conspiracy theories on.
And if I could do that, I would also have people like Marilyn Monroe, so we could find out some of the truth about the Kennedys.
Oh yeah, this is it. You know, and basically we're also going to have Andy back on in January. I need you to, in February. I need you to sort out a date for me, Andy, if you wouldn't mind, because I don't really want to push you back. Push you too far out. And
he says.
Okay, so if you can sort out a Sunday for me, I'll get it in the diary so I don't overbook and double book and what have you. Okay, just see what's going on here. Okie dokie. Right,
he says give him what you got free. Yeah, but we got to work out because he's got another course coming up, isn't he?
Yeah, so I'll just tell him what got free and then he can tell me.
He can pick one.
So So basically, I'm just going to play this advert, and then we'll be calling on our guest, Karen Vance Hammond.
So Andy, turn your earphones down.
Yeah, we'll see you after this break.
The Paranormal Intelligence Gathering Services Ghost Store is a one-stop shop for all of your ghost hunting gadgetry needs. Run by ghost hunters for ghost hunters, the shop is filled with all of the latest in investigation equipment, shipped in from all around the world, from high-quality digital dictaphones to EMF pumps, infrared illuminators to laser grid pens, CCTV equipment to data loggers. All of our equipment has already been imported, so you can buy it safe in the knowledge that there will be no hidden costs. And with our postage promise, you'll never pay more than the actual postage price. So visit www.the-pigs.co.uk/ghost store.
Okay, well, make sure you can hear us, because I just turned us down. I'm going to contact Karen. She's got a few friends that are trying to get in, but they can't seem to get in at the moment. I'll find out in a minute if they're actually listening. If they're listening, then I can get them to get in. Let me just get hold of Karen while we're here. Hi, Karen.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Can I just ask your friends? Can they actually hear the show?
I don't know. I can certainly ask one of them who said that they were having trouble getting in.
Right.
Hang on, just a...
If they click on the play button on the front page, that should take them to the actual show.
Okay.
And then it might take them to the main live stream, but there is a chat room there. If not, they can always come back to the main page where they were, because it'll open up a new page, I think. And then all they need to do is just put their name in on the chat thing. You don't have to register or anything.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and if it's a little bit loud.
Is she a bit loud? Okay, so... But good evening anyway. Just trying to check on the sound quality, because I've just been told I had you a bit loud. So, are you okay, Karen?
I'm doing great.
So, just keep letting me know if she's too loud, and I'll just turn it down.
Yeah, guys, can you let us know if that's okay?
I don't know. Right, okay. So we're here to talk to while she's doing that. We're here to talk to Karen Vance Hammond, as I explained. Now, basically, Karen is an author, and the description we've seen online of this book is that this is not just a story about a family and its attempts to comprehend the mysterious phenomena of the spirit world. Schumacher demonstrates the realities of war, love, romance, abandonment, adoption, fear, and the fight to survive. You had better grab your pillow on this one. You're gonna need it. Okay, so that's what we found as a description by one review, which was on Paranormal News, that we found it on. And so we've got Karen on the show tonight. So we're going to talk to her about her book in a moment and the inspiration behind it. But first of all, Karen, we need to find out a bit more about yourself.
Well, first of all, I was just so excited when you contacted me and asked me to be on the show. I was absolutely thrilled, and what an honor it is to be here, and I thank you so much.
That's fine. So what we'd like to know is, as I say, we'd like to know a bit more about yourself as a person.
Well, one of the things that really has intrigued a lot of people, listeners across the world, is how this paranormal novel, this true story, came to be. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that really interests a lot of people is the fact that I have personally never entered a regular classroom. I have never sat down in a chair in a regular classroom with regular kids. I was in special education all of my life. I suffer from what is called dyslexia, reading and learning disabilities. when I was a young child, I was not developing the way that I should. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I know that you really want to get into the meat of the story. But I was placed in special education in the 3rd grade. And even in college, I wanted to go to a regular college and could not. I had to go to a special college called the University of the Ozarks, Jones Learning Center. So I have been in special education all of my life. Now, a lot of people ask me, how did I incorporate writing shoe marks, having a learning disability, having a reading disability, having dyslexia, where you see things backwards? I have to tell you, it was a task, a very, very big task. One of the things is that when writing a book and having dyslexia and having a reading disability, a lot of people don't know what dyslexia is. It's actually where you read backwards. It's where you see things backwards. Now, dyslexia it's different for everybody. Sometimes the numbers and the letters will start moving all over the page. And in other people that have dyslexia, they see things backwards. They read numbers backwards. They read words backwards. That happens to be my case. But also, the words will jump all over the page. Now, how I wrote this novel was very, very slowly. Okay, I had to be very intricate about how I wrote it, making sure that I got the sentence structures right. Yeah. But one of the things that I gave to myself a couple of years ago, which was one of the best birthday gifts, was the dragon, which is a narration speech to text. And all I had to do was download it into my computer, and then I could speak my words, and everything is perfect. The sentence structure is on target. The punctuation is right there and perfect, so I didn't have to worry about it. I bought that while I was writing another novel, which I'm going to get into. But having a learning disability and having a reading disability, when I was approached by a horrific story in shoe marks, which I'm about to tell you, I wanted to sit down and write a novel. I had never even thought about writing a novel. It never even crossed my mind. I mean, me having dyslexia, having a learning disability, never being able to go into a regular classroom. You have to be kidding me. No, I have experienced failure all of my life. Anyway, this story intrigued me. And I approached Jennifer Stone and asked her if I could write the novel Shoe Marks, which I'm going to get into the meat of it. As I sat down to write, of course, I had a lot of doubts that I could do this. It took me 6 weeks to write the first draft. It took me 7 months to write the second draft, and it took me about a year to write the third draft. But I had to go through having dyslexia, having other people read it. I finally sent it off to editing and eventually found a publisher. So a lot of people write in. They will text, they will contact me through Facebook, and they will say, how can I help my child? How can I help myself having a disability and having dyslexia and having a reading disability? The best advice that I can give people is to never, ever, ever give up. If you have a dream and you want to pursue that dream, try it, don't give up, and don't tell yourself that you can't do something. And that is something that I learned. When Shoe Marks came out, I had no idea that it would get the reception that it has.
No,
oh my gosh.
It's been well received around the world, hasn't it? And including Japan. How does that make you feel?
Oh my gosh, elated. I mean, I get chill bumps just thinking about it. Knowing that, this book was written by someone who has a disability and dyslexia to come to being, and I'm not bragging about myself, but I will brag about Shoe Marks, becoming a #1 bestseller with Synergy Books.
Yeah.
And being a #1 bestseller in certain categories on Amazon. It absolutely blows me away. You have to understand that Shoe Marks is not just your everyday paranormal. You don't just lay in the bed, turn on a recorder, and wait for something to happen. I mean, this story is absolutely chilling, and to see it in libraries across the nation, to see students holding it, displaying it in Japan, to know that it's in several states, it's also in England as well. Mm-hmm. So, to have this book do as well as it has, and to be received as well as it has, absolutely blows my mind. And for it to be a first book that I've written. Also, another thing about shoe marks, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but it also won literary category at the Paranormal Awards in 2013.
Wow.
So I was absolutely just blown away, the reception that this novel has received, and the reviews that people have put on Amazon about it, also on Goodreads and other places as well. I'm just really, really thankful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, I know it's based on a true story, but how did you take from the fact, and how much of the story is from your own imagination when it comes to the characters?
One of the things is that I did talk about Jennifer Stone, and she is the one that actually lived in the famous Horton home, and experienced this horrible, spine-chilling paranormal activity that she had to go through for years. And every author does this. I have not met any author that has not done this, and I'm sure that even you will agree with me. I haven't taken away, when I wrote Shoe Marks, I did not take away from the actual paranormal experiences that the Stone family endured. The characters are real. The paranormal is real. It is what happened. But I will say this, that in writing a novel, if you just have number 1, ghost in room, number 2, knife flying across the room, number 3, I mean, you have to add your own spice to it. But it did not take away from what actually happened inside of the Horton home. I was not going to mess with that, and I was not going to blow that experience that the Stones experienced inside of the Horton house. I was not going to take away from that. But every author will agree with me that yes, you have to add spice. You have to add characterization. You have to add personification. What does Jeremy Stone look like? Yes, I've seen pictures of him. And so I had to add that persona to that. But another thing is that I wanted to say, and I felt like it was very important, that I needed not only to add the paranormal experiences that Jennifer Stone and her family experienced, and also what happened to Maggie Horton as she was murdered at 16 years of age, leaving behind her shoe marks. Thus, the name of the novel is called Shoe Marks. But I also felt, too, you have to remember, this is historically written back in 1899. That's when Maggie Horton gave birth to her firstborn son. 3 days later, she was dead.
Yeah.
And then I carry how she died, what the people in Ellensville, Texas know about her. But also it starts in 1944, World War II time. So I felt like it was extremely important not only add the paranormal experiences, but I also add about the war. I focus a lot not only on the paranormal experiences, things moving in the house and what they had to endure, but I also felt like it was really important that I focus on Jeremy Stone as well, having post-traumatic stress disorder, having to deal with being he was wounded twice, once in Market Garden, another time at Utah Beach. And so I incorporate that, all of what he's having to deal with, plus having a new baby, being a new father, but also having to experience this hell that he fought. Now, one of the things that a lot of people will ask me is that did they know that they were buying a home that had paranormal activity in it? The answer is no, they did not, but the realtor did. And she let that poor family back in 1944, World War II times, sink every stinking penny they had into that home. They could not move.
Wow. Wow. And obviously, you say that you've experienced some sort of personal experience whilst you was writing the book yourself. Have you ever seen a ghost?
You know, I've seen evidence of it. I have definitely seen evidence of it, but because I am on a paranormal research team myself, Houston Paranormal Research Team, we've definitely seen evidence of it, but also I've seen evidence in my own home when I lived in Northeast Texas. So even my daughter has seen something and has related to me. But as far as the evidence that I've seen and the evidence that I've heard is absolutely phenomenal. But as far as seeing a ghost pass right in front of me before my eyes, no, I haven't. But I have seen things move. When writing shoe marks, and you have to understand this, and I'm sure that investigators will understand. If you haven't experienced anything such things that I've experienced, then you really don't understand what I'm talking about. But when you investigate a home, you take something away with you.
Yeah.
You leave that that print, if you will, and you take something away with you. It may not be tangible. It may not be something that you can touch, but you do take something away with you. I had the opportunity of spending 3 days inside of the Horton home, making sure that I got everything right, making sure that I got the furniture right, making sure that I got the actual shoe marks where Maggie Horton died right. I wanted to make sure that I got the furniture right. I wanted to make sure that Maggie Horton's furniture, that I described that to detail, which I did. And when you investigate, you take something away with you. When I was writing shoe marks, I was clicking away at the keys, of course, and I felt something, a hand. It felt like a hand on top of my head, and there was pressure there. And I knew that it wasn't a fly. I knew that it wasn't the wind, of course, but I felt something on top of my head. And then the hand is what I presumed that it was, went down the back of my head and patted my shoulder. And it felt to me very feminine. Now, was it Maggie Horton? I have no idea. But another time when I was reading shoe marks, because having dyslexia and the disability, I had to read the novel out loud a lot. Yeah. And one of my friends, her name is Zarita, a wonderful children's author, I was reading it to her, and I said, Z, my computer's acting up. She said, well, mine is too. I said, well, what is yours doing? And she said, well, mine's making all these squiggly lines and messages. And I said, oh my goodness, mine is too. Simultaneously, both of our computers clicked off. Another time that I was writing shoe marks, I felt a very intense heat, almost like you're standing near a stove. It was that hot. But it felt gentle, very, very gentle, but an intense heat on the left side of my body. So those are the things that I experienced. Now, like I said, when you experience inside of a home, when you investigate inside of a home, you take something away with you. Was it Maggie Horton? It very well could have been. After all, this is her story. I am continuing her story, telling her life, what happened to her. So, and how she haunts. Her spirit still lives on inside of the Horton house today. Yes, it could be her, but I'm not for sure. So experiencing that while I was writing shoe marks, I tell you what, it was really horrific.
Right, can you read us a bit of shoe marks to give us a bit of a, you know?
Of course I can, and I would love to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start now I'm going to start where actually Laura starts to see. Laura is the wife. Laura is Stone. She is now pregnant with her third child. This is right after they bought the Horton home. Laura knew that something was in the home. And I'm going to read it to you here. Laura could not take lying in bed any longer. Holding the handrail, she quietly made her way down the stairs and into the kitchen. When she flicked on the light switch, Laura let out a shrilling scream. Scared to death, she covered her mouth and backed away. All the kitchen cupboard doors were open, as well as the drawers. Silverware, along with pots, pans, and dish towels, were scattered in every direction. Panting, she could see her breath. Her eyes darted in every direction as she held on to the door facing. Laura felt as if she was going to faint. Trembling, she tiptoed into the kitchen, and she gasped as she felt a breath on her neck. Paralyzed with fear, she was unable to move, her soft brown hair blowing sideways. Laura mustered up the courage to put one foot in front of the other and then sprinted to the wood-burning stove. The burners on the stove were red hot. She grasped each knob, turning it to the off position. Dressed in their pajamas, Robert and Meredith ran downstairs. "Mommy, are you okay? Are you having the baby, Mommy?" Robert asked, rubbing his eyes, trying to wake up. "Mommy, what are you up to? Why did you scream like that?" Meredith sheepishly focused her eyes on her mother. "Mom, are you looking for something?" she asked with hesitation. Not wanting to frighten her children, Laura slammed the drawer. "No, I am not looking for something." She walked over, purposely slammed one of the other drawers, and turned around with her arms folded. "Okay, who did this? Who did this?" Meredith stretched her arms out in front of her. "Mommy, we just got up." "No, someone's playing a trick. Now, which one of you did this?" "No, Mom, we just got up. Why would we do this?" they said in their own defense. Robert pointed to the cupboard above the Frigidaire, and with a list, "Besides, we're too short to reach that one." Laura turned around, staring at the cupboard. "One of you must have gotten a chair and opened it." Downstairs, Jeremy opened one eye and could hear his family voices coming from the kitchen. He rolled over, almost squishing Honey, their dachshund. Abruptly, she rose on all fours. The red streak down her back rose, and she sprang off the bed, ran down the stairs, and went straight to the shoe marks. Barking, she licked the fresh red blood. Robert turned around and left the kitchen. He went over to Honey, who was in an attack posture. "Honey, what is it, girl?" Curious, Robert knelt down. "Oh, man, what is this?" He poked his finger inside of the blood, rubbed his finger and thumb together, smelling it. "Honey, have you been bleeding?" Robert held Honey up by her front paws, inspecting her body for wounds. Then he saw the blood on her snout. He rubbed it off and ran into the kitchen. "Mommy, you've got to see this." His mother rolled her eyes and asked, "What is it now? What are you doing now?" "Mommy, come here. I found something. Come here," he demanded, jumping up and down. Robert walked up beside her, tugging on her robe. "Mommy, I said come here." With her hands on her hips, Laura sighed. "I'll be right there, son." Knowing that he could not get his mother's attention, Robert shook his head and rolled his eyes. He ran upstairs into the bedroom and quickly jumped on the bed. "Daddy, come quick! Come quick! I found some blood!" Jeremy sprang up into a sitting position and put his robe on. Downstairs they both walked. Jeremy knelt down. "Son, what do you think it is?" "I don't know, but Honey was bleeding on her mouth." Robert patted her on his head as she licked the blood from her chops. Jeremy held Honey by the chin, examining her furry face. She's not bleeding, son." Jeremy pushed Honey aside and placed his fingers on the shoe marks and then held them up to his nose. "That's a smell I'll never forget. It's blood all right, but where the heck is it coming from?" He stood up, searching for clues, and walked into the kitchen. He crossed his arms with concern as he saw all the doors and cupboards open. "What's going on here?" Laura sighed and pursed her lips. "Well, when I walked into the kitchen, this is what I found. Everything was open and the stove was on high." "Mommy," I said, "come here. There's something I want you to see." "Yes, there is something you need to see," Jeremy replied. The four of them walked into the foyer beside the banister and stared down at the shoe marks. "See?" Robert had a smile on his face, showing off his find. Jeremy knelt down and once again placed his fingers inside of the shoe marks, lifted his fingers to his nose and sniffed. "Laura, this is human." "Human!" "Jeremy, come on, quit kidding. Quit kidding around. This is unbelievable. I can take the clock, and I can take the kitchen, but this, come on, Jeremy, please tell me you're kidding." Concerned, he raised his eyebrows. "I wish I were." He stood up and put his hands on his hips. "Something's not right here. There's got to be an explanation for this." "Well, you better come up with one quick, Jeremy," Laura explained. And that is just a short snippet of some of the beginning paranormal activity that the Stone family had to endure.
Well, Karen, we've just been sat here listening to you, engrossed, and my thoughts was it would be good if it became a film. And my husband just said you should do an audio book.
Well, thank you very much.
It was fascinating.
Thank you. One of the things is that it is now, as we speak, being written into a screenplay. Now, I do not know what is going to happen. You have to understand, those that are listening in the audience, you have to understand what transpires when you write a screenplay.
Yeah.
You don't just write a screenplay and hope, that it's on the big picture. It goes through a lot of red tape to get it made into a movie. So, all we have, just cross your fingers and your toes and hopes that it is picked up as a feature film. So we'll just have to see about that.
Well, please keep me informed if it does. I'll keep all my fingers crossed for you.
Thank you.
Now, Karen, you mentioned earlier that you are with a paranormal group.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do public events over there in America, or is it just a group thing?
We are a professional paranormal group, and normally we will do residential homes. We also will do commercial homes as well.
Mm-hmm.
As far as going out and doing public lectures, I have not done that before. Simply, I just don't have time. I have other books in the works. I have another book that's already out, written by the famous Kimberly Burrett.
Yes, we'll go into that in a bit. But
yes.
what I meant was the way we do it here in in England is, and there are one or two groups that I know of in America and in Minnesota that do actually do a few events where they invite the public to do, to get involved with them.
Yes. Now they call them paracons.
Oh, right.
Yes, paraconventions and paranormal conventions, and those are held throughout the United States at different times in the year. I have been invited to many of them. Excuse me. However, due to circumstances, I haven't been able to make one yet.
Oh.
I hope to make one in a few months that I have been invited to. And so hopefully I can go there. But a lot of people can't make the para-conventions all the time. And so that's why they're held all over the United States at different times of the year. And they're really, really big. A lot of people go to them.
Yeah. Well, one of our listeners, Rent a Ghost Rider 2873. He said we've had a haunting in Connecticut and a couple of others. Perhaps this could be a haunting in Texas. As a name for a book.
They have had one in Texas.
They have?
Yes, they had one this past November in Longview, Texas. Mm-hmm. But I was not able to go with that one, unfortunately. Right. Mom was in the hospital at that time. and so I wasn't able to go, but I really wanted to.
Yeah. So, so it's obviously something you're interested in, the paranormal.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. After all, I'm a paranormal author.
But what gets you involved in the paranormal? What makes you interested in this?
Actually, what made me interested was when I experienced paranormal activity for the very first time in my life. I was living in the state of Maine, and I was a house sitter, and I was also a therapist at the time, and I was sitting with a woman named Dolly, and apparently what had happened was the home was built back in the 1800s, and there was a young teenage boy who had committed suicide by hanging himself with his own belt in his closet. And so there was paranormal activity in that house, but I also experienced, like I said, in my own home while I lived in Northeast Texas, which also was frightening in itself. That is what got me interested in the paranormal, because, like I said, once you experience it for yourself, you cannot understand, and unless if you have that experience, people don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And so, but that's what really got me interested in it. And then when I became friends with Jennifer Stone, things just started snowballing.
Yeah.
And of course, getting shoe marks out, and then having my newest paranormal mystery, Secrets in the Shallows, co-authored with Kimberly Burlett.
Yeah.
That one also has really, really done well. And so many people are very interested. The fact that it is a series, that this is only book one.
Right. Now, going on to that, because obviously, like you say, it's not your only book, Shoe Marks. So this collaboration with Kimberly Burlett, can you tell us more about Secrets of the Shallows?
Secrets in the Shallows actually came from a horrific nightmare that I had when I was living in the state of Maine. Secrets in the Shallows is actually depicted in Maine, but excuse me, it's
Careful.
it's that type of nightmare that never ever leaves you. I was thinking about, well, what in the world am I going to write next? And so I had already started The Monastery Murders, which was about that dream. And so when I completed The Monastery Murders, I needed an editor, and I wanted an editor, and I had lost my editor on Shoe Marks because she was getting up in years. Let me take a drink here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mouth is getting dry. So when we got together, she read The Monastery Murders, absolutely loved it. Then we started co-collaborating. What if we brought in this character? What if we did something else to this character? And so we started, excuse me, I have horrible allergies, writing it together. And so I asked her, I said, why don't you just come on board with me? And so we did. And the Monastery Murders became Secrets in the Shallows, and it just plays on from there. But it is a horrific paranormal mystery. If you like CSI, if you like Criminal Minds, if you like forensics, if you like the paranormal, you are absolutely going to go crazy over this book. It came out October 31.
Yep.
Halloween night. People were just grabbing it left and right off Amazon. And at that close, a little bit after that time, it had already had over 30 5-star reviews.
Wow.
So it has really, really done well. Now, Secrets in the Shallows is about a young teenage boy who is actually murdered by an unidentifiable nun there on the monastery property. The search begins, but what the crew who is doing the investigation, they experience paranormal activity inside of the monastery from a previous murder that they do not know about.
Yeah.
So I incorporate police procedure, forensics, murder, paranormal, all into one in that novel.
So before I ask you my next question, regarding your dyslexia, yeah, how has it moved you on further since you've been writing your books? Has it progressed you?
Dyslexia never goes away.
Does it help in some way though?
Writing my novels on the dragon has been a godsend. It really, really has. Dyslexia, like I said, it doesn't go away.
No.
Yes, you can combat it. You can. A lot of people, do well even though they have it. It's not something that gets better or gets worse. It is what it is. And so, but writing with the dragon and going slow and making sure that you got sentence structures right and syntax right, making sure that you have personification right, that all plays into writing it, whether if you have dyslexia or not. Now, having dyslexia and writing a novel, yes, it makes it harder. It certainly does. It probably takes me longer to write an average novel than it does a person that does not have it. But having the dragon definitely has helped a lot.
So how many books have you actually written then, Karen? And what is your favourite?
I've actually written 5.
5?
Yes, I have. Now, not all of them are on the market yet.
No.
No, not yet, because you have to understand the publishing process.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just writing a novel and just putting it out there. Now, I'm not self-published, and a lot of people choose the self-publishing route, but I chose not to do that. When you write a novel, of course, which I've written 5 thus far, Shoe Marks being first, Secrets in the Shallows with Kim Burlett second, plus we have the sequel that has already been written, but we're polishing that up. Mm-hmm. That is called Devil in the Details. Then I wrote Identity, which is about, I carry the characters over from from Secrets in the Shallows. I carry those characters over into Identity. Identity is about a New York City lawyer who thinks he's all that, but has his identity stolen in a matter of 24 hours by a dumpster thief, making him a modern-day biblical Job. He loses it all. Mm. And the characters from Secret in the Shallows, Devil in the Details, they are also carried over into this one, and of course another investigation begins. But I'm also writing, and I'm just about finished up with my other novel called The Crossroads, which I think teenagers are absolutely going to love. If you like Stephanie Myers, if you like her, of course, she wrote the Twilight series. I think that you will enjoy that. Now, I've also been commissioned. I don't want to use the word commission because I'm not being paid for it. But I have been asked to write another true story paranormal that takes place in northeast Texas up by Shreveport, Louisiana. And I have been sent all of the material on that. And I've also gone on location twice to that home, taken pictures of that house, doing what needs to be done, getting all of my eggs in a row to start that novel as well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 novels that have been written, and 5 is just about finished.
Right. We've just had somebody come on the chat room, and they've heard you mention the dragon, but they didn't quite catch what it actually was. Can you just re-explain again?
Yes, I can. If you go to dragon.com, dragon.com, you will see that it is a text-to-speech narration. All you have to do is download it into your computer, and then you can speak your words rather than type your words. And it's called thedragon.com. That's what you need to go to. It was the best birthday gift I've ever given to myself. And a lot of, even the Jones Learning Center where I went to college.
Yeah.
Inside of the Special Learning Center for those that have special education needs, they also use narration text to speech as well, which has been a godsend for me. Excuse me.
The dragon.com seems to be down the site, unfortunately. Steve's just checked it. Yeah, so the site seems to be down at the moment.
You can also, those that asked about the Dragon, you can also go to other websites as well.
Yeah.
There's not just the Dragon out there. I think that Microsoft now makes one.
It's basically a voice-to-text program, is that right?
Yes, it is. And that is what I use to write my novels with.
And that's good for dyslexia, as you say.
Yes.
And anybody who's not very good with writing at all.
It's good if you can't spell like me and all.
Yeah, if you can't spell, it's good that way as well. So, you know, like I said, it's a godsend, you know.
Yes.
The wonders of technology. Andy's put one on there, has he?
Yeah.
The nuance.com/dragon. So it's here. Right, okay, he's found a link for it anyway. But as I say, I'm glad that you've managed to find something that's helped you in this way. When you were talking about the secrets of the shallows, I'll be honest with you, you'll have to let me know if this happens. I'm not a medium or anything like that, but sometimes I do get some sort of inclination, for want of a better word. But I don't know why, but for some reason I saw something like the recent program, Sleepy Hollow, that you obviously must get over there as well, the mini-series that's come on. I can see, I don't know why, but I can see that happening with the Secrets of the Shallows. I'm hoping it does in some way, shape or form, if not a movie. What do you think?
I really hope that it is picked up. You know, it's going to be a 3 or 4 part series.
Yeah.
Secrets in the Shallows. If listeners would like to look at Secrets in the Shallows, all they have to do is go to Amazon, or they can go to my own website, which is KarenVanceHammond.com, and see what the covers look like.
Yeah.
I have both. I have both shoe marks, of course, on there, and I have Secrets in the Shallows. You know, will it become a series on TV? I do not know. I hope so.
Yeah.
You know, it's been mentioned that those that have read both Shoe Marks and Secrets in the Shallows, they're like, oh my gosh, I can just picture this in the movies. I can just picture this on TV. So I don't know what's going to happen. But like I said, Shoe Marks is now being written into a screenplay. It's just about finished.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll just have to see what happens.
You know, it's obviously this has all come in less than 12 months, I suppose, you know, since you actually published the Shoe Marks. You know, it's all been, even though the process has been a long time coming, since it's come out, it's been a bit of a roller coaster for you.
Oh, it has been a ride that I just don't want to get off.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, when Shoe Marks hit the market, it was like wham.
Yeah.
And, you know, people, and, you know, of course you have to understand too that, you know, there's a lot of great paranormal authors out there. You've got Anne Rice. You have, you know, so many, Agatha Christie. I love her work, but you have a lot of paranormal authors out there. But to write something that is based on true events, that's something different. And so I think that really caught the eye of a lot of readers out there. And so with Secrets in the Shallows, co-authored with Kimberly Burlett, following that, I know a lot of readers that have read Shoe Marks have read Secrets in the Shallows, and they are just chomping at the bit for book 2, which we are now working on that as well.
Well, I can see the passion that's flowing across the airways from you, to be honest with you, Karen, you know, that you have for this, and I commend you for, you know, for the work you've done with your dyslexia. And it's obviously something for everybody else with dyslexia to know about, and feel themselves that they can do this sort of thing. If anyone wanted to write a book, whether it be paranormal or anything, what advice would you give them, Karen?
Go slow and never, ever, ever give up. Because I almost did.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, I almost did. You know, having dyslexia and learning and reading disabilities, there was a point to where I just wanted to throw my hands up and say, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And that still small voice in the back of my head said, Karen, keep writing. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Even if it's not published, even if it's not picked up by a publisher, somebody that believes in your work and believes in you as a person, just finish it. Finish it. I kept saying, finish it, finish it. And of course I did. Don't ever give up.
No.
Ever. Ever. If you have a dream, don't give up. You keep plugging away at it. You don't let the bull run over you. You take the bull by the horns.
Yeah. Well, what, may I ask, aside from this, what do you give yourself time for away from this? What gives you a break from all this?
What gives me a break? You mean what do I do besides writing to give? Spending time with my family. I do have a wonderful husband. I do have a beautiful teenage daughter. And of course, we live down here in Texas, the great state of Texas. And having Galveston, Texas right here and having the ocean and water sports. And I also do a lot of reading, and I do like to sew. I love to sing. I used to be a soprano in the Shreveport Opera in Shreveport, Louisiana. So opera is also one of my passions as well. A lot of people don't know that I was a professional opera singer.
They will now.
Yeah, but just spending time with my family is the most important. Spending time with friends, that gives me joy. They are the most important people in my life.
Right. Okay. Well, when we get the interview up and running, the full show, I'll send you a link so you can send it to anyone you want to for listening to. Okay, and keep it for yourself as well. And
well, thank you so much.
But I'd just like to thank you for taking time out during your holidays to speak to us tonight, this afternoon where you are. And I wish you really wish you well with everything that you're doing, and great success for 2014 and beyond. You're remarkable. Because you've overcome, in a way, your dyslexia to become a writer. You've said it's not going to hold you back.
I appreciate that so much, and I just thank you so much for believing in me and for wanting me on your show. That just really means a lot to me, and it touches my heart, and I thank you.
That's okay. Well, as I say, if anything comes up that you need to tell us about, if anything becomes a movie or a mini-series or another book comes out, if you let us know, we'd be happy to let everyone know about it. Okay.
Well, I certainly will. So thank you so much.
So don't forget us, will you, Karen, and we won't forget you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you on Facebook.
And he just said, can you ask her? And he hasn't put the rest.
Hold on, somebody wants to ask you a question on the chat. So, but what was you going to say, Karen?
I said that I can't wait to talk to you on Facebook. So, no, it's not too late, Andy. What do you want to know, dear?
See, he's listening. He's going to see you.
You can see what you're
yes, I've been watching.
She's been watching.
Yeah, go on, Andy.
What have you got to say? She's all ears.
Yeah, ask your question, mate.
So she's there waiting for you. So he's all right. Is our Andy? Is he going to ask? So Richard Wagner. What about him? Opera. Oh, Wagner.
Yeah,
Wagner.
Not you ever sang Wagner.
Oh, have you ever sang any of Wagner?
Yes, I have.
All right. The ring circle, etc. Yeah, you
Yes.
have. Well,
Yes,
he's obviously into opera as well.
yes. In fact, gosh, it's been so long ago. The last
Pardon?
opera. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. The last opera that I sang in was The Merry Widow. I also did The Marriage of Figaro. I've done so many of them. That was 14, 15 years ago.
As you can see, he says he loves Varga.
Oh, yes.
And
Here's False, wonderful.
Yeah, and his favourite is Parsifal. Is that right? You can see that icon.
Yes.
But again, thank you very much, Karen. It's been wonderful having you on the show. And as I say, please don't be a stranger to us, will you?
Well, thank you so much. And I will see you on Facebook.
Okay, my darling. You take care.
Okay, you
Good
too.
night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you, Karen. Bye-bye.
So that was Karen, and she's there still listening away, and she's in the chat room if you want to ask her any more questions about Wagner, Andy. So we'd like to thank Karen for taking time out, as we said to her. And what an astounding woman. You know, some people, I must admit, that they have things like, you know, disabilities and stuff and dyslexia, but they let it overcome them, don't they? But she's taken it the other way and said, no, I'm not doing that, you know. And she's become a writer. You know, it's fantastic. You know, all credit to her.
Yeah, all power
credit
to her elbow.
Yeah, really good. So hopefully, I just feel, I don't know why, but when she was talking about the secrets of the shallows, I had Sleepy Hollow flash up into my mind. So I don't know whether somebody was telling me that it's going to become a series, you know, like Sleepy Hollow. I'd like to see it come out as a, you know, as a series or a film, or Shoe Marks definitely, you know, as well. I hope that happens as well. At least then, some people who don't like reading.
Like you.
Like me, can actually watch the film instead. So, but I must admit, you have said many times that the book doesn't, the film doesn't give credit to the book, does it?
No, it's rare that the film's better than the book.
Yeah, so
obviously
you know.
it can't go into the detail. I mean, even people think that that's everything. Like the last bit, the ending of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
To my mind, it just wasn't good enough.
No.
It should have been like the book.
You know,
and
so this is it.
I mean, the first time I noticed it was Jaws. But I saw the film first and then I read the book.
Yeah.
And there was so much detail in the book that wasn't on the film.
Chris is like me. I'll be honest with you. This is why I hate reading, because I'll read the first page and by the time I've turned over, I'll forget what I've read on the first bit. You know, that's my problem. And Chris is exactly the same. I think it's called lack of concentration.
I love reading, but I have to be interested in the story, otherwise forget it.
Yeah.
I just put it down and throw it away.
But as I say, Karen's actually sent me the novel Shoe Marks. I think she sent me Shoe Marks, or she sent me the other one. So you can actually sit down and read it sometime. I'll even print it off for you. See.
Thank you. Very, very true, and you miss so much detail in the book.
So, you know, but Chris said too many other things on my mind. Yeah, that's the trouble, to sit and read. You think, you know, I've read X amount of chapters of that Da Vinci Code, and I've put it back down again, and I can't get into it again. That's the trouble, you know.
Well,
I think I'd rather see the film.
Well, you know me, if I get into a book, I'm in a world of my own and gone.
I think I've read, to be honest with you, about 4 books in my lifetime, and I'm nearly half a century old.
I lost count.
Yeah, I know. You could pick a book up, and within 2 weeks you've read it, and you're picking up another one.
Yeah, but I have to be able to get into the story.
I lose him when he reads.
If I can't, then
I'll be honest with you. When he reads, I lose him. So, but you know what I mean? It's just, you know, it's just mad. But anyway,
I've got a book under my table here that I started reading before we moved. I have read it, but it's I'm only 2/3 of the way through because I've been too busy to pick it up.
Well,
I think that's a plan. Keep me busy to stop me from reading.
yeah, I think so. Do you know what? I bought him all these tools years ago, and since we've been here, he's not. He's used them.
I haven't put them down.
I don't know. Right, okay, we're going to do the paranormal events.
We've got all the news right here. Don't go away.
Fed up of wading through the activities and events that other advertisers include? Find just what you're looking for at paranormaleventsforyou.com, your one-stop paranormal directory. Yeah, and first off the rank, we've still got them Bluebell Hill Ghost Walks that are being run by Neil Arnold, who is our guest recently, talking about Bluebell Hill Ghost and amongst other things. And if you want to find out when the next Ghost Walk is down there in Chatham, you can contact him via his email at neil.arnold@live.com. And I'm sure he'll let you know when the next one is. On the 9th of January, there's a psychic supper in Leicestershire at Molly O'Grady's. That's being run by Paranormal Eye UK. And also at Molly O'Grady's on the 11th of Jan, there's an overnight ghost hunt, also being run by Paranormal Eye UK. Let's see what else is also running. I think they've been spamming my website because it seems to be only them at the moment. But on the 18th of January, you've got the Six Hills Hotel in Leicester. Again, Paranormal Eye UK. They're going there. That's in the Leicestershire rather than that's Melton Mulberry. Tony Stockwell is starting his tour of 2014, and you can find out more about that if you go to tonystockwell.com. Just click the link on the site and you'll find out there, and I'll let you know where he's going in January. 31st of January, back at Molly O'Grady's for another overnight event with paranormaleye.co.uk, and just waiting for the link to come up, and here we go. Let's see, when's Tony Stockwell's first one? 20th of Jan. He's at the Radlett in Radlett, Herefordshire, at the Radlett Centre. And on the 29th of January, he's in Derby at the Assembly Rooms. So you can find out more about that, as I said, at his website. And on the 30th, he's at Kenton Theatre in Henley-on-Thames. And there's many, many other appearances throughout the UK going up right until June at the moment. So have a look on there and you can see if he's anywhere near you. And that's it for paranormal news.
And on the 31st of October.
Ignore that. I've got to get rid of that. Hold on a sec. Move it over. So check out the one-stop paranormal directory for more investigations and events. Available now. Paranormaleventsforyou.com also offers banner advertising for only £10 per year. See our website for more details. Paranormaleventsforyou.com, your one-stop paranormal directory. So yes, I've just messaged.
Go on in.
I've just messaged Karen and thanked her again, and she said that was so much fun. And she's asked me when the link will come out so she can post it on a podcast. Okay, so I'll tell her it'll be tomorrow sometime. So, which it will be. So look out for that. We'll put it on the web page. Talking of web page, I don't know whether I forgot to tell you or not, but not the web page, the Facebook page. When I was talking about Harvey, there's actually a website, a Facebook page for Harvey, Steve. Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. But yeah, I thought how weird. There was one for Harvey. Actually, if you put in Harvey on Facebook, comes up Harvey the Rabbit. So if you fancy liking that page, you can do. So you know, but as I say, There are some good films out there that does do this sort of thing, but most of them are fictional. Right, what we got here? What's being said? 40 Shades? No, it's not. 40 Sheds? 50 Sheds?
50 Sheds.
Thought Andy was going to audition for the part of Mr. Grey. Yep, that's what you said.
Yeah, he said if the money's right,
If the money's right. I don't know. So basically, concerning February, going back to you, young man, we do have some dates free, and just to let you know what they are, we have the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd of Feb. So any one of them days for you. And March is the same dates because, as usual, unless next year's a leap year, but I don't think it is.
Which is not.
No, so it's going to be the same dates in March. So anyway, that's the events for January coming up. So I have actually Twittered Dan Aykroyd, sent him a message, and asked him if that I'd do a show, and I'd love to have him on, talking about his paranormal interest. Would he be interested? So I wonder whether he'll actually get back to me.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
Andy reckons someone should do a New Year's Eve ghost hunt for next year. I'm not. I think people will be too busy.
The trouble is with New Year's Eve ghost hunts is, to be honest, no, people do ghost hunts on New Year's Eve, but the trouble is, yeah, most paranormal places, they go mental with the price. Halloween as well, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, and Christmas Day, they seem to go mental and say, oh, it's going to be X amount of pound more. That's the only trouble, don't you think? So
you'll have to excuse me. Our little Roxy wants to go out.
Make it your house. There's nothing here. I'm sorry, we left him at the old one.
Unless you know something we don't.
There is some places that we're thinking about booking in the new year, I must admit. I've got to have a word with somebody, and I can't remember if it was Chris. Chris, whereabouts are you based in? Did you say you were based in the northwest? Can't be you then, because there's somewhere down in Tamworth I've got to sort out. Unless it was you. You're in Wigan. Ah. So, are you in the American? Did you see the orb as well, Andy? Are you American, Chris? Am I getting the right Chris here? Did you go down with why is everyone up north? I don't know. All right. No, I've got to speak to somebody about the moat house.
Yeah. Wind's picking up as well.
Is it? Down south somewhere, and also a place in Coventry.
Oh yeah.
Because it's good living up north. It's living all right. It's living all right. Sorry. Sorry, it's Christmas. I hope you've had a good Christmas anyway. So, well, I'm going to let you know, even though I may have told you earlier. But,
Coming soon.
yay!
And you said, did we say Coveringham?
Who's Corringham? Where's Corringham?
Coventry.
Coventry. Coventry. Right, okay, so let me just recap who we've got coming on in the next month. Okay, so just to remind you, let me see. So I wrote them all in my new diary. Right, on the 5th of January, we have Amy Vickers who's going to update us on the Star Child skull, okay, and telling us some things that they found out, and also what's happening after losing Lloyd Pye. Okay.
Yeah, lots of new DNA stuff coming through.
Yes. On the 12th of January, we have Uri Geller. So, it's not black, it's mauve.
It's purple.
It's purple.
And velvet.
And velvet, yeah. I'm hoping to get some bookings. So, for...
You got a couple?
Yes. For tarot. For charity. Aren't I?
Yes.
So that's why.
There's some money for the doggies.
There's some money for the doggies. Right. Yeah, Yuri Gala is on the 12th of January. On the 19th, as I said, we've got Stephanie Boddy, who wrote The House on Pulteney Road. She contacted me and said it's now coming out, and she said, can we make a booking to come on the show? And Michelle, let me just double check where Michelle's from. Michelle, I'll tell you what it is in a minute. Michelle Arbo.
As it's spelled.
Arbear. But I'll tell you what it's about. She's a celebrity numerologist with clients from Twilight, Big Bang Theory, NBC and more. And she's a 2-times author, inspirational speaker and radio and TV host. She's an internationally known celebrity numerologist, as I just said. She's host with clientele from Twilight, Breaking Dawn, Pirates of the Caribbean, blah blah blah. So yeah, so that's what she does. And we're going to talk about numerology. I hope. I could come on and talk about the book you sent me, Sue. Whoa! But I had but it's hard. It's not
all about
laughing. Did you read the book then? You could definitely come on and tell us what you thought of the book. Give us your review. Right, so that's Michelle Harbour. That's on the 26th of January. On the 2nd of February, we have Kerry Cox from British Paranormal Research Group talking about ethics. Paranormal ethics. This is what we want. We want paranormal groups coming on and talking about themselves and what they do and why they got into it and this, that and the other. This is what it's all about. We need to promote you as well. Okay, it's not just about celebrities. And I'm waiting for a booking from Barry John. I'm waiting for him to come back with a date. And also Wade Davis. I will get a date out of him. Yep, I work with Paranormal from time to time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, guys, any groups out there that are listening, please contact us. We want to hear about you as well.
Yes.
Tell us what you're about. Tell us what you do, where you go, and you never know. You might get people actually calling you saying, "Can we go with you?" Yeah,
well, this is it. You know, we also want to. We want you to talk about what you've got going on as well. Just because they may not be in the paranormal events section, you can tell us about what investigations you've got coming up as well.
Yeah. And if you're doing these investigations, go to paranormaleventsforyou.com.
It's like SAS
Let people know where you're going.
I've actually SAS Paranormal have actually put a comment in our Ouija board section of our forum. Providing a spirit board, Ouija is used by non-negative people whom are protected within a spiritual sense that the board is blessed prior to use and that they are opened and closed down properly, with one person in control at all times and that no misleading, easy manipulation questions are asked. This person believes that the spirit board is just another tool to aid the communication with spirit, much in the same way as a seance, glass divination, and or pendulum dowsing. See, that's what the forum's about as well.
I agree.
That is what the forum is about. People coming on and giving their opinions and advertising themselves in there as well. The forum's sort of like gone a little bit by the wayside because nobody's going in there. So Chris said, I did. Thought I'd give my opinion. Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. That's what we need. Okay, we want people coming in and saying what they've got to do and what they don't do and why they do and why they don't do and all this, that, and the other. Isn't it, Steve?
It is, yes.
We want conspiracy theories. We want cryptozoology. We want all sorts of things, don't we? All contributing to the unknown. You know, even though most of us are into our paranormal, ghosty type things.
As for Barry John, he said throw some dates at him.
I did.
You've just thrown
I'm waiting for him to catch it.
Oh, I see.
I'm waiting for him to catch them. I want him to throw one back. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
I do apologise. I've just seen the time that came in.
Yes. Yes. So, you know, I am waiting for him to throw one back at me. That's the trouble. But yeah. I've reminded everyone that I want on the show. Finally got that Uri Geller though. That was good, cool. So, wasn't it?
It was. That could be interesting.
Mm.
Everything from bending spoons to psychic spying.
I don't mind if you want to put them on Paranormal Events for You. That's what they're there for. Okay, and we only mention them once a month. Well, not once a month, but every week, but in that month. So if you want to do it, go and do it. Okay? So,
yeah, get
Paranormal Events for You, that is the place to advertise. Just make sure you don't put your price. Just put a link onto your website. Okay? That's all that matters. That's what Paranormal Events for You is all about. And if you want to advertise with a banner, which helps us keep all our sites on, okay, then you can put a banner on the front page, and that's only £10 a year. And we've got a couple of people that does it, and it all goes towards keeping the domains up and running and the server, doesn't it, Steve?
It does.
That's what it's all for.
It's like you say, it keeps everything up and running for us.
Yeah, this is it, because we do this all for free.
We do.
You know, at the kindness of our heart.
It's the only money that comes in, really, because it pays for all the sites, it pays for the server, keeps the domains running.
Yes, and that's what it's all about, you know.
And a lot of hard work.
You know, and
as I was saying that we have lapsed of late because we're all moving and everything, but
yes, so he said he already has.
I'm sure we can get back on.
But yes, once everybody else starts advertising on there, then it will be, you know, and they're not cheap, saying the work money. No, they're not. They aren't cheap. So my servers, I think, £100 a year, and then I've got the domains to pay for. So,
domains on top of that.
You know, how many communities do you have running there, guys? 4 tonight. 4 computers.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So,
do, yeah.
Steve uses one to either watch the football, which don't normally happen on a Sunday.
No.
Used to on a Wednesday.
That was a Wednesday.
Go on then. What do you use your computer for?
I have that one up so I can read my radio.
Yeah.
My radio page, which has me
your observations.
The observations.
Yeah.
Makes it easier to read it off there than it is to print it out.
The laptop shows him what you lot are writing about.
Yeah, and I can talk to you guys.
I have this laptop on so that I can Skype people, so that it doesn't affect that laptop, which does the show. Dun, dun, dun. I mean that computer. Sorry, that computer. So because that dominates the show. So that's the plan. Shut up.
There you go, Andy. There you know why we have 4 computers.
So because if I had Skype on there as well, it could mess up.
It would interfere with everything else.
Interfere with everything else, and we don't want that. So. You know,
yeah,
and another thing, if you want to do what John Blackburn did and put yourself on the show,
yeah, come and see us.
Yeah, come and see us. Put yourself on the show.
Place a chair here for you.
No, I don't mean that. When he did his cage.
Oh, the cage, yes.
We could actually keep running backwards and forwards to you and find out how things are going if you're doing an investigation on a Sunday night, a private one.
There was a gentleman on the night that wanted to do that.
Yes, he wanted to do that, so he said he would get back to me.
He did.
So, but that was good. Oh, he said very professional.
Thank you, Andy.
I've got my what's it called? My Dynacord 600 that I use for the sound.
Yeah, he said he was closer to come on every week.
You would. Right, but as I say, my Dynacord here does my sound. So, and we use proper mics.
And a mini disc underneath.
And we've got a mini disc player underneath which plays all the tunes and stuff. So,
this is where it's at.
Dynarod, no, Dynacord. Yes. Dynacord 600. It's an amp.
It's a powered mixing desk.
Yeah, powered mixing desk. So that gets connected up, and I use what do I use? Powder Bits sound recorder to do all the recording. Yeah. So that's how it works. And if live stream goes down, we're buggered. Well, so we try and do our best for you anyway.
In a way, we're buggered. We're buggered because we can't connect to you guys, but we can still record the show.
Yeah.
So the show can still go out, but it just means that you guys can't interact with us.
No, and we'll be getting people on also that that have already been on the show. So as I say, we might get Catherine on again to talk about her fairies and stuff. Since we talked about the puka today. So I'd love to do a show like that. You're still welcome to come down to me sometime. You might regret that. So, because what we'll have to do is we'll have to go down, do the show at Andy's, travel back to Peterborough.
I have to transfer the bits onto a disc.
Yeah, travel down to Peterborough. So we'd have to do it on his computer.
On his little laptop.
No, but we could take a computer. Well, we've done it before, haven't we? Took a computer down.
A computer and a couple of laptops with us.
Yeah, a couple of laptops. Come down. I do have a hearing problem, John. So, and then he can be part of the show, can't he? Take the mics down. I've got 2 laptops and a desktop. There you go. So I'd have to take mine down because of the connections and everything.
You'd have to take yours down for the folder bits anyway.
Yep.
Because it's only on your computer.
Yep. And
the amp.
And then we can go down there for the day, set up, do the show from Essex.
And he has an office as well.
Right. We can go down and do the show from Essex, and then travel back to Joni's in Peterborough.
Yeah.
How's that sound then, Andy? What do you reckon? Do you think you're going to be up for that?
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
Susie says that about me as well sometimes.
Do you know what that means though, Steve? That'll please Joni because we'll be down there for the weekend.
And he said it's okay to him.
So then once we finish the show, he'll be going back to bed because he's got to get up in the morning, and we'll be travelling back to Peterborough.
Yeah.
So
Joni won't mind.
Joni won't mind, will she?
Provided it's not in term time, he said.
Yeah, we'll have to do it not in term time. So
do it when the kiddies are on holiday.
When's the kiddies next off on holiday? Are they on a holiday in February? Probably bloody are. They can have enough holidays.
Easter or summer, he said.
I'm sure we can work something out. So, well, I'm afraid that's it for tonight. I'm afraid.
I'm afraid so, yep.
Short show tonight because of Christmas and everything.
Note to Sue.
Note to Sue. Oh, I don't know.
No, that was a note about February.
Oh, was it? Oh, right. So, maybe if Chris fancy popping over one Sunday night, he can come and be part of the show as well.
Yeah,
seems he's only in Wigan.
Yeah, of course, he ain't far away, is he?
No. So
you can tell us all about what he's doing.
What do you reckon, Chris? Do you think you're up for that one Sunday night? Would love to at some point. Well, if ever you're free, just give us a nudge and we'll let you know. Even if you could just come in and talk to, be a guest sort of like a guest compare, what you call it, a guest host sort of thing. So, Easter Sue, think of all the chockies Andy and Steve will get you. Ha 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 ha. I don't know. So, right, well, whereabouts in Essex are you? Let me know. Not too far, I hope. Okay, thanks, Chris. He's going to let us know regarding that. Well, if you are listening on Radio Replay, don't forget, if you are a paranormal group or paranormal enthusiast, why don't you contact us and be on the show and book a spot with us? Okay, and I'm sure we can find somewhere for you and to come on the show, and whether it be in the hub with us or via Skype or on the phone, we can do that with you. And even if you're in America, we can do that as well. So until next time, and he's in Basildon, which is not far away. So
until next time, good night and God bless. And don't forget, guys,
keep the paranormal friendly. Good night and have a happy new year.
Yep, see you next week, guys. And don't drink too much. You have a nice horrible hangover in the morning.
Bye.
To see in the night, to measure the spike, to see how cold it's been. I buy my kit so I won't forget the ghosties that I have seen. The Paranormal Intelligence Gathering Services Ghost Store. So visit www.the-pigs.co.uk/ghost store.